Well, I never. It's an e-bike for £700 from Amazon. £700 for an e-bike. Amazing. This is the Eleglide M1. It's the new version of the Eleglide M1 with 27.5-inch wheels, and the frame is slightly bigger than the old one, as I understand it. There is a newer version, or a higher spec version with an LCD display, but I thought I'd just get this one because I'm just using it for a short journey to work and back, so I didn't really care about it too much. You know, this thing even comes with a throttle as a free gift, the manual says, but I'm not going to connect the throttle to this because, you know, it's illegal in the UK anyway, and I don't need it for such a short journey, and, you know, I want my legs to do some pedaling, so I won't be attaching the throttle. How long this bike will last is another question. It's got to have really super cheap parts, right? I mean, the crank does look very thin, and yeah, it's a rear hub motor, of course, so it's not going to be anything like a mid-drive e-bike. I've had 3 e-bikes, but proper e-bikes, like a Common Cell Meta Power. I've had the Vitus e-Summit VRS and the amazing Frey EX Pro, which is ridiculous, but now I'm just taking a bit of a break from downhill and enduro and all that, but I still want to have a bike to get to work and back on, and so you know, having a £5.5 e-bike just to go a couple miles is overkill for the road, certainly. And so 700 quid for an e-bike seems like a bloody good deal. So let's see if it works, really. I'm not going to show you how to set everything up because it's just basic assembly of a bike: front wheel, handlebars, seat, pedals. You know, we all know how to do that. If you don't, there's lots of other videos on YouTube which will show you how to do that. I'm just going to show you from a mountain biker's perspective, not riding off-road, but just like how this feels and how it works compared to proper eMTBs. Might be quite useful for anyone deciding to buy an additional bike, like a cheap eMTB for the road, for example. So yeah, let's have a look. I think what is really cool is this bike comes with a headlight, which is powered by the battery of the bike. So, you know, it's one less thing you have to worry about putting on your bike for road use. It's already there. So I'm powered by the battery, so it means no extra batteries, etc., which is great. So here's your cockpit display screen. So you've got on, off, and you've got level of assistance. I don't know why it says 6 kilometers per hour. Oh, kilometers or miles per hour. Anyway, it doesn't tell you what the miles per hour or kilometers per hour are, so I don't know what the point of having a mode button is. Anyway, I'm a great non-reader of manuals, so I may never know. But it's obvious that this is your light on and off, and this is your battery level, which is showing full at the moment. So all good. I think we can go and try it. Don't forget to pump your tyres up first. Make sure they're quite nice and firm to hard for the road. It has a kickstand. I've never had a bike with a kickstand before, apart from a motorbike. Normally, if it came with a kickstand like the Frey EX Pro did, I would get rid of that and chuck it away straight away. It has no place in any kind of mountain biking scenario, and any safety features, they would be chucked away as well. But because I'm actually using this for the road, I'm putting the reflector on, the light on, and I'm going to keep the kickstand. I would get on the middle chainring, not the big one or the small one, stay in the middle. And it takes a while to cut in, but when it does, it really goes. So yeah, there's definitely a delay. You have to pedal for a bit. So I'm pedaling. Now it's coming in. 2 seconds later, get into a higher gear. Yeah, it's really going. I can't actually feel the 15-mile-an-hour cutoff yet. Let's have another go. See if I can get some more speed up. Can't actually get it to cut off. Anyway, works. So when I stopped messing around on my phone and had a proper blast around on it, I can feel that it works just like any other e-bike I've had, any other eMTB, proper one. But it just got a little bit more of a delay than a mid-drive before the power cuts in. But as I say, when it does, it feels just the same as any other e-bike, really. I'm quite impressed with this. Quite impressed with it. It's just how long it lasts is another question. The forks, I would just put those on lockout if I were you. There's a lockout there because they don't do much, and they're those cheap forks which are just going to seize up eventually anyway, so you might as well have them locked out. So that's just my opinion anyway. But apart from that, I think it's bloody good. What I also like is the nice chunky brake levers on it, which give it a kind of chunky feel, motorbikey kind of levers feel. I mentioned cheap components earlier, but it has got a Shimano, you know, which is a branded Shimano Tawny derailleur on it. Don't know much about this 250 watt hub, but it's got disc brakes, which are mechanical disc brakes. See the wire, so pull the pads together, which means less maintenance. They're never going to work as well as hydraulic, but at least they do stop quite well. One thing to note, I wouldn't use this bike off-road. This is not an eMTB, it's not a mountain bike, right? Just think of it as a hybrid, a road bike, a commuter bike, but don't ride it off-road purely because of these forks. I think you could probably have an accident, to be honest with you. Well, that's only my type of riding. You might be alright for basic small family trails and stuff like that. I'm sure we'll be absolutely fine, but don't go chucking yourself down any downhill or enduro trails on it. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, all in all, bloody good. Just one last thing regarding range, which is what everybody would ask. It says 60 kilometers this bike can go. That will be obviously maximizing the battery life by having it in minimum assist level, I expect, and 60 kilometers. So that's a hell of a long way for a cheap e-bike. Seems like good value to me. The battery, I think, is 36 volt. I think it's 7.5 amp hour, something like that. If you're doing short journeys to work and back, you're not going to have to worry too much. Just stick it on charge when you're at work or when you go home. You're probably just going to charge it every couple of days. But 60 kilometers is quite a range. But if you were going on full assist or the throttle, I imagine it would be more like 25 miles or something like that, 20 miles. So if you work on that basis, if you go 5 miles to work and back every day, you're going to do that for a couple of days before you need to charge. That's just quite a rough idea anyway. But I think all in all, this bike is amazing. For the money, never would have thought you could get an e-bike which works quite well for 700 quid. I mean, it actually looks like an eMTB as well. So yeah, I kind of recommend it.